Part of wildlife. I'd never do this to humans, but there's a in J.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson shot areas that had lights that were natural on places, and Sam was like, "I said this morning, we've gotten this far, we can't turn back now." Said something like that to Frodo in a Scottish accent, and then they went into lava by throwing the ring into the lava because they found the Eye of Sauron, and Aragorn deflected it because he was a king. And it was, if you ever have an orc attack like in Helm's Deep, then you're probably gonna RIP or fall into lava. And Frodo almost fell into lava after throwing the ring into the road to Mordor, which was to destroy Sauron's ring because Sauron was inside of it throwing wraiths at him with orcs. I'm saying him, it was Frodo Baggins, but that was just a small human-sized person the size of a child that had like, and there was Gollum too, so if you see a child like Gollum, that would be pretty crazy because he has a different video game system. It's like Resident Evil that had wraiths chasing him instead of like Frodo Baggins RPG. This is a video game and it was open world that had wraiths going after Frodo too, but with Gollum it was like specifically just that. Oh man. So yeah, in any case, those two are propagations of what's magnitude, and watch my vlog yesterday about magnitudes and propagations because they're equal to what atoms are around the environment versus the atoms on your body. And this is what elves did inside Lord of the Rings. It was this one girl who hovered over water and had this stuff shooting off her in radiation equivalent to a different guy in the band D who's retiring this year, and he in the music video hovered over water and crashed down onto it and was geeking out because it scared this hunter near it. Alright, so if you've never had a bug fly into your mouth and you have to spit it out before it goes down your throat, then you've never had a bug fly into your mouth. So earlier I almost digested one by it flying down my throat and into my, I don't know. So I just spit it out. So then just recently I've had them trying all around me and it looked like they're trying to fly into my mouth. So luckily I was able to swat them away. But if you're ever caught going uphill and that happens more than once, it's really dangerous because flies can be equal to God knows what. And especially if they're inside of you, it's then their atoms inside of you. And that could lead to like a scary movie of what I had in a dream of spiders, because spiders are extensions of flies, especially if they're flying into you. Put that together, it's like in the movie It, the clown. It's just an alien spider in a basement and you don't know how it shows up. It sounds kind of like Lord of the Rings, that ring that was cursed from Sauron living in the ring. What if it was just this bug that kept flying into your belly from outside and these kids didn't know and the fly kept going in? It's like a fruit fly. I just spit it out. It was so gross. I saw it laying on my sleeve or something and it was just like crawling, like thinking it was inside of me. Pretty gross, right? I'm glad I know how to spit. I was trying to find the importance of what cells are because they're inanimate objects. So if you have your backpack, which is already ripping too much full, and you put more clothes inside of it, it'll be impossible. But if you put it separately into there and you just carry this on your bike, it'll be all right. This is what cells think of if they can or can't do something, and they base their characteristics off behavior and reference my bio vlog because it says what flux are if you ratio them, and it's depreciating friction. Yo, and she got me on three-way. She thinks she's got me on three-way. Nice assist. Nice assist. Do you hear how loud that train is? With this pause break, if you can't see this on camera, is that this train has been going for 3 minutes along with that This one guy told me, wait, back pan. I went up too close. Nice, I'm getting good at fucking filming my fucking panning. If you put those two clouds I just shot in front of the ones I did earlier that were dispersed into 2 layers, you'll know what filming panning is from inside and outside. And this is when we're talking about atoms, and if an atom is in you and it's a fly, that's a lot of atoms. How many do you think? That's equivalent to what Percocets are. And you're wishing for water to heal you, and there's no water on Earth that can do that many Percocets, because that's a lot of cells of Percocets that are atoms. Can you relate that and show how what might have occurred at O'Hare to the rapper Juice WRLD? Equivalent to what ODB happened from the Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, there's countless other rappers like Lil Peep and others like Mac Miller and others like Pimp C, who had a certain amount of what are equivalent to flies that keep trying to fly into my nose and mouth. They said one guy in America, I'm not going to say his name because it's so bad, that I dream of him with an upside down crucifix on his forehead and he looked like a demon going to hell. And I mentioned earlier that there's this one other guy at the Olympics going forward and backwards, looking like another guy who made the computer software that was corrupt, currently has patents. That was in you know where, looking like he turned gas on in showers that he made people go inside of. Oh, I don't know. That they taught me about over here as well. What happened in Germany. And what someone online said, they saw him inside of you know where, and they were only turning the showers up on him even more. And he was getting more and more mad, equal to what he looked like in the Olympics when he was going back and forth, looking like he was under the influence. To catch what a train horn in the back. And the guy in the town that I'm in has like this rap industry money that he actually bought himself into it with purchasing himself as an independent company. If that isn't what entrepreneurship is, I don't know what is, but that's pretty prevalent in different races of the human race. We're not naming names. But in any case, no matter what race you are, I would not capture you on camera like geese or a car. But this car's gonna fuck up my geese shot. Not if I don't squeeze them out first. Hey, what squeezing out means is, in string theory, if you have one thing connected across the entire Earth, it would have been the ether. And they tried to find this in the early science days, but they couldn't measure the ether or the soul of a person. Notably, I saw both on the TV. They said that these people's weight don't drop once their body dies, so their heart stopping, their blood stopping from flowing is not equivalent to an energy field in their body having a spirit go out from their body. And they said this is conclusive because the inside of a person can't be measured with the spirit, and so they said that the ether wasn't one either. And the ether was around the times where they were balloon racing across the world. They made a video game out of this around the world in blank amount of days. And that blank amount of days is blank around races, because if you get caught on TV being called an anti-whatever. This guy on TV today said that the word anti is always bad. Not always, because in science describing antimatter can better depict negative temperature, because they both are non-intuitive things that I've ever heard in my entire life. Aside from rapping with a different race over a train that had bells, and he had created a beat in it because he had a music company and he has part in his industry of the music company. And so he, by rapping over that train bell, is equal to a piece of property that costs something that he's making digitally. And if you equate that to what patents are into inanimate objects, and you get a slight picture of if they're all slapping hands on their way out from the front door. Because in high school where I went there, they slapped everyone's hand the first day of school. Not when I went there, but during this year they did at the very start. And if you equate that to what atoms are, you attributing patents on them is literally what the Indians did like. And at the start of this day, I said something that someone sounded like a Native American Indian, and I don't know, I'm one of them. That he was describing to his tribe what humor was for the first time. And the outcome of this is a scenario only equal to what Frodo in The Lord of the Rings has. Lava from being put into lava because he was given a ring and he didn't know how to get to lava other than this one person who he knew who was addicted to the ring. And the guy addicted to the ring fell in. And that's the only difference between him finding out how to get rid of the ring or having the wraith kill you. A wraith is a thing that is like a shadow and it's like 7 feet tall and it attacks you. And this is what happened when he went into a farmer's patch and took stuff that wasn't his. So that's why in the Bible it says don't. Okay, so Flatly and the Clown, it would attack like 4 kids. So those 4 kids would have had flies going inside of their body through their throat and they didn't even see it. Something like that, like a pill, like Percocets. Juice WRLD capped from that. And so if those flies are like Percocets going in you and you don't see them, it's like the clown, a spider controlling you like the Ring of Sauron. But instead of the Ring of Sauron, it's these flies that are going inside your throat and it taking you out. And by taking you out, it's equal to like a wraith, because at least Frodo saw like 4 or 5 wraiths, at least 2, and that's equivalent to the clown appearing. If you swallowed flies, like as if they were Percocets and your Juice WRLD that O'Hare. And so that's why the airports all want to get an O'Hare and an LAX airport, because rappers rap about LAX and Juice WRLD died at O'Hare. And I also want a Sedona shirt and a Santa Fe shirt, and they're both in California, or at least one of them, and one's in Arizona. And I have 2 family members in both states, so I think I can get at least both of them in both airports, and then I'll have enough shirts for the whole year, because that's 4. The question is, how quick can I do it, because I have to get back to my job and stuff, because like, if I can get 4 shirts in 1 week, that would be so fucking cool, and I think I can if I try. And that's the benchmark that I'll press upon, 4 shirts. Till I wear them back in my main town in Grafton 362, those 4 shirts, and then that would be sick, right? Shout out here where these girls wanted me to give them back some you-know-what, because they told me to come in their car, and they had banana bread made of you-know-what. And we're at a camp right there, and we're from my high school over here, and my high school over there is where I first found them, and I didn't know they could drive, and they, outside my Plaza's I worked, said like pick me up or get inside, and I was like, we can do both. And so I went inside, buckled in there, took out tinfoil, and like, here's some bread, try it. And these flies keep flying, trying to fly in my mouth. They come in clouds, and they're getting aggressive this year. Looks like they're trying to get inside my mouth. We're gonna pause it here. Pause it right here. That and this, there's so much graffiti in town that I told the officer, because I saw people spray painting a rock, and I'm like, I don't agree with all this. But the difference between road paint and spray paint, is it things that are that dangerous? If so, I think they are, especially if they're on caps where they shouldn't be, because then that erodes and goes into water, and that's not like connected to all the water, but some of it. If some fragments get in that are infected with something, and it's equal to a spider appearing from you digesting alien fruit fly, And there's all these fruit flies that are gnats, and they appear and disappear around your face all the time. In the town I'm in, if that was in the book, there was a spider that connected through these fruit flies that were around, like Wonder Woman's invisible airplane. It was these spider that was an extension of these fruit flies through its like web strings that were the strings of the fabric of space-time. And so the fruit flies were at the tips of them. If they went into your body, it then controlled you like a puppet and its strings. And that's what the book It is, which was created by this guy who was under the influence of stuff. And people all around the United States know him, so he's equal to Mark Twain. So showing my examples of It, the guy who created It, and then Mark Twain is something that of in itself. And Tim Burton always shot shit like this, which is essentially Worms and Doom, for whatever that's worth, and it's only money scene that was recreated.